Board meeting to order. Brian, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business is approving the minutes from the Board of Selection non-public and work session from October 10th. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. And the Board of Selectmen's October 10th, 2017 minutes.
Move that we accept those as written.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The Select Board will meet on the following dates: 6 p.m. Monday, November 13th and 27th, 2017. Work review sessions prior to the regular meeting will start at 5 p.m. Tentative work session, if needed, October 30th, 2017. All of the above meetings will be held in the town hall unless otherwise posted. Citizens wishing to be listed on the Select Board's agenda should notify the town hall before 12 p.m. the Friday before the scheduled meeting. New members are needed for Planning Board, Zoning Board position. If interested, please submit a letter of intent to the Plymouth Select Board's office, 6 Post Office Square, Plymouth, New Hampshire, 03264. Visitors. Steve?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like to just take an opportunity to introduce a new employee that the University Police is proposing to hire. And he's here today. Jerry, come on up. Jerry's here with his family, his wife, his 2 girls. Jerry's career in law enforcement spans from smaller town departments like Holderness and Bristol up to the Franklin Police Department, where he is now employed right now. Prior to being in law enforcement, Jerry was in the Army, served as an MP, and he's local. He's from Newfound High School. So he is ready to leave the city of Franklin PD and join the University Police Department. So I just want to bring him in and introduce him to you, and if you had any questions, here he is.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Any questions from the board?
Are you looking forward to Plymouth versus Franklin, or?
It's definitely different.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. I'll be retiring out of Group 2 and continuing my career, here with you guys up here, so I'm
Okay.
definitely looking forward to it.
Very good.
And Steve, the board has approved the position,
Yes.
so we're all set on our end.
And Jerry will come down during the week when the paperwork is available, and I'll get him sworn in.
Just want your convenience,
Yep.
regular hours.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Room tax.
Oh. We have an identification crisis.
Hmm?
We have an identification crisis. We don't know who we are,
Oh.
so.
We've got... I'm still John Randall.
Trade?
We have... Let's see. We have no purchase orders. We got time to do committee reports before the public hearing?
Yes, you do.
All right. Committee reports. Mike?
Yeah, I attended a chamber marketing meeting, and we had a really good presentation by Current Graphics, Danielle Sargent, and And they're going to be coordinating with the new company that's going to be overseeing the website. So a lot of good things happening on the marketing end with the chamber.
Bill?
And we had a planning board meeting last Thursday night, and we addressed some of the final issues with the master plan. And we've got a decision to complete by the end of December, when the North Country Council contract is done. And theoretically, we could do a contract extension if needed as well. And that still leaves some sections of the master plan that planning board members have volunteered to help complete. So we're going to have a target of the end of the year for that completion. And then it'll be public hearings, and we'll adopt the new master plan. And there was an energy committee, or energy commission meeting last Wednesday that was canceled, was going to be rescheduled in the future. And I think that's it for me.
Okay, I attended the College Community Council meeting. The college office hours, college office will be closed from December 24th through January the 2nd. College students' last day this semester will be December 17th. Again, it was the deputy fire chief brought up the fact that we have 6 students now working in the fire department, coming on for training and other things. So that's very good. And they're also starting up Operation Santa Claus. And anybody with any gifts and stuff, no, it's a little early, but it's never too early. With Operation Santa Claus, their fire department's going to be collecting toys and that for needy families in the community, in the area. And so they talked about that also. The town trick-or-treating on December 31st. The merchants portion will be from 4:30 to 5:30. The streets will be closed off for that period of time. Then the streets will be reopened 5:30 to 7:30 for the open trick-or-treating. So I think that is it. Neil?
I attended the Plymouth Conservation Commission meeting on October 17th, and they discussed some of their ongoing projects, such as hiking trails and having a Geo Club work day, reblazing trails so that they're easier to follow, and also collaborative work with Ashland Holiness School and the university regarding the Oxbow Area Conservation Initiative. They're also working on doing monitoring work for New Hampshire DES LCHIP funding, and they have projects in the works. They are planning to hire a surveyor to survey the land on Tenny Mountain that the town owns. It's 90 some odd acres. They have a paid intern project started. They're going to develop a new pamphlet for general conservation easement outreach, and they want to update their website content and maybe improve the website. And there's discussion about mapping invasive species vegetation, and also the possibility of a Baker River bike route possibility to be explored. And they may have a possible new member coming forward, but it's not firm yet. So they're also working on improving the erosion problems at the Walter Ski Trail Gate up on Texas Hill Road. It's a pretty steep driveway, and I guess people spin their wheels, and they need to see if they can fix the road surface. Also, Greg DeSanto, planner from the North Country Council, attended the meeting and gave us a lot of information there. I also attended the annual meeting of the North Country Council, and it was in Whitefield. This was the 19th of October, and the executive director, Barbara Robinson, announced that the North Country Council is in a transition, and they've gone through a period of difficulties, and they're on the upswing now. They had Victoria Sheehan, the commissioner of the Department of Transportation, gave a very involved speech on the funding situation with the New Hampshire DOT and how they plan to upgrade our roads. And we also had the commissioner of the State Department of Business and Economic Affairs, Taylor Caswell, gave us information on his new agency and how it's going to be more efficient and more helpful to us. So that pretty much sums it up.
Brian?
Yeah, I just had a little tidbit from the Parks and Rec Commission, kind of piggybacking on what you said about Halloween, John.
Mhm.
On
Okay.
October 31st,
Mhm.
from 4:30 to 5:30 downtown. It's all free to the public. You can go to the businesses, trick-or-treating with the kids, and then, like you said, at 5:30, that's when the neighborhoods open up for trick-or-treating, 5:30 to 7:30.
Okay.
Brian, I have a question.
Yep.
Is the youth center going to be open for Halloween?
The youth center,
Yes.
yes. Yep. During that 4:30 to 5:30 time.
And at 5:30.
Then at 5:30 to 6 is a more, so young children will walk through the youth center, as always, to get a piece of candy and it's not a scary haunted house. They advertise a haunted house, but for the time between 4:30 and 5:30, it's open for, little children walking through.
We're interested in the after 5:30, if there was going to be anything going on.
It should be done at 6.
Should be done at 6. Okay.
When were the trick-or-treating hours?
For downtown, the downtown businesses will have candy for kids 4:30 to 5:30, and then the neighborhoods in Plymouth open up at 5:30, and that goes till 7:30.
And the town street, Main Street will
Main
be
Street closed. Yep.
At the town hall, the front foyer will be open and will be staffed by the Downside Up group. The Down syndrome children will be passing out candy down inside the front foyer of the town hall.
Excellent.
Excellent. Bill?
One other thing, I see that Josie was able to, I guess, put what we're responsible for next to our names on the committee reports, and I see that we've got Northern Pass as well as Mike. There is going to be a presentation tomorrow, it's kind of short
Yeah.
notice, but 6:30 at Pease Public Library on rights based ordinances. And, we're going to have the New Hampshire Community Rights Network and the Community Environmental Legal Defense Fund representatives there at the meeting and looking at what we might be able to do locally with a rights-based ordinance to target or limit development down our main street, with specific, projects like Northern Pass. But anyway, that's tomorrow at 6:30.
And everybody needs to be there.
Yeah.
6:30 tomorrow.
I'll be there. Senator Guida sent me an email. He won't be able to make it, but I'm gonna get the information for him, and so there we go. All right, thank you. All right, it's 6:15. We need to open for a public hearing, and this is okay. The hearing is pursuant to New Hampshire RSA 31-95-B to accept $126,577.32 as an additional appropriation of highway block grant funds in accordance with the provision of Senate Bill 38. The funds are additional grants under RSA 235:23, I, semicolon, to be used for highway construction, reconstruction, or maintenance purposes. I'll read a letter from the State of New Hampshire Department of Revenue Administration. Judy A. Silva, Executive Director, New Hampshire Municipal Association, 25 Triangle Park Drive, Concord, New Hampshire 03301, regarding SB 38, additional appropriation of highway block grant funds. Thank you for your recent inquiry regarding the additional appropriation of highway block grant funds made by the legislature in adopting Senate Bill 38. The Department of Revenue understands that this action has inspired a number of questions, which I hope can be answered with the following information. The provisions of SB 38 include specific language that allows municipalities to accept and expend these funds under the process provided in RSA 31-95-B, regardless of whether they have adopted this local option provision. There are specific procedural requirements for accepting that include, pursuant to RSA 31:95-B, semicolon 2, parentheses A, the Board of Selectmen is required to hold a public hearing if the amount of the funds received is $10,000 or greater, and that is a reason for this public hearing. For amounts less than $10,000, the Board of Selectmen shall post notice of the funds in the agenda and shall include notice in the minutes of the Board of Selectmen meeting in which such monies are discussed. The acceptance of unanticipated money under this subparagraph shall be made in public session of any regular Board of Selectmen meeting. RSA 32:7, 4 provides that money from the state grant for a specific purpose is non-lapsing. The money being provided to the municipalities are additional grants under RSA 235:23, I, semicolon. RSA 235:25 provides in pertinent part that the unused balance may be carried over to the following municipal fiscal year and expend for highway construction, reconstruction, or maintenance purposes. This amount of additional grant should not be reported as highway block grant revenue on the municipality's 2017 MS 434 report of revised estimated revenue. As dedicated grant funds, the additional grant will not become part of the unassigned fund balance, and cities and towns are encouraged to inquire of their accountant or accounting firm to determine the appropriate fund where the money will be used. SB 38 includes provisions enabling municipalities to accept and expend funds. The New Hampshire Department of Revenue Administration issued the enclosed letter to provide additional information on those provisions and requirements. New Hampshire Department of Transportation recommends that municipalities document how the SB 38 funds were expended in anticipation of reporting or auditing being required. Hopefully, we've provided answers to questions you have as you move forward with expending the funds on local highway needs. If you have any further questions, please contact the New Hampshire DOT Bureau of Planning and Community Assistance at 603-271-3344. Victoria Sheehan, Commissioner.
Okay, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
since a lot of this has been so ambiguous throughout the state and towns are confused, I don't want us to miss anything, even though it doesn't say you should vote to accept this money, just in case they find that that's necessary. Because every week they're finding another restriction for the use of and what we can't use the money for and how to accept it and how not to accept it. I don't think it would hurt to have a vote and accept the money.
Okay.
And then I'll get into the other parts that are ambiguous.
Okay. We'll open the public hearing for any public comment. Public have any comment? Any comment from the select board?
Not a one.
A vote?
Are there any restrictions on this funding?
Yes, there's a lot of restrictions there.
Can you explain some of those?
Because they change every week and they get challenged every week, there's a long list that, in a nutshell, comes down to it can't be used on anything that was already planned. So if you were already planning on repairing a road, it can't be used for that. So say some. And others will argue that because we plan on repairing all our roads. So, and where it becomes ambiguous, and I'll get into that part now, the title of it is SB 38, Additional Appropriation of Highway Block Grant Funds. If you go down to one of the bullet points that John just read, grant should not be reported as highway block grant revenue. And that just happened to us on Friday. We received $126,000, and now I need you to accept it, but I cannot show it as revenue. But yet at the top, it does say additional appropriation of highway block grant funds. Down the bottom says I can't add it to our highway grant block funds. So I need you to accept it first, or do you want me to discuss where it's going to be used? We do feel we found some projects, worked with Joe from the highway, that probably fit in the category of we really weren't planning on doing it for quite a while, but it's stuff that does need to be done. Railroad Square roadway, 1,900 feet. We'll take care of the water and sewer system improvements. And that's going to be an estimated cost of, by the time we fix the road and the subsurface, $60,000 will go to that. South Main Street. Again, all new drainage is required and will connect the Railroad Square proposed drainage system. And with the engineering and everything, that'll be $40,000. Warren Street, all new drainage is required and will discharge at existing drainage systems. Total estimated cost, $30,000. And Pleasant Street, same thing for $25,000. That's all surveying, engineering, and testing of the lines that are already there so that we can run cameras and stuff like that. That goes over the 126, and we had Joe pick an extra one just because there's a chance that one of them won't be accepted as
Okay,
being planned, and we might have to hold off on anything that has to do with Main Street.
so that would be submitted to the state as to where they're going to expend the fund.
Well, at the end, you would wrote where it says, recommends that municipalities document how the SB 38 funds were expended in anticipation of reporting and auditing being required. It's because of all the conditions that they have. There's like 11 of them, Neil, and I'll get them for you, that we can't use it on. So,
Uh,
I was wondering if any of those monies could be earmarked to do something about connecting Green Street to Route 3, now that the town owns that road area by the skateboard park, because that was part of our plan way back as far as emergency access.
it was part of a plan already, Frank.
Okay. Well, I thought that plan was like 1995.
But it was part of a plan.
Okay. All right.
And the irony is, and this will be argued how this money came to be, but we should have been getting more money for the last 3 or 4 years to begin with. And this has happened statewide. And now they're making up by giving the money that probably should have come over the last 3 or 4 years. Had we received that during those years, it would have come with no restrictions, and we could have done that, Frank. But now that we received it in a lump sum, all of a sudden there's restrictions on it.
Can I just add one more item to that? I mean, I think we mentioned it as well, but is it Hale Street, Hale Road, whatever, what's the culvert that crosses town
You're
lines?
talking about in Bridgewater?
Yeah,
Yeah, and we're looking into that too, if it can be used there.
okay.
So this was an idea so that we can show the state that, yes, we do have some projects that we weren't planning on doing. We don't have blueprints for them. That one there, Joe and I weren't quite sure, because we've been trying to find all ways of doing that. And it would be nice if they would let us use the money to do that.
Yeah.
Because it would be enough money to do that whole project. But we're looking into that one.
Okay.
Because there are towns contesting how the money can be used, because they truly feel, like I just mentioned, had they received the money right along like they should have,
Yeah.
the correct amount, they would have used it any way that they saw fit within the highway department.
There would not have been restrictions put
There
on
would
it
not
at
have been
that time.
restrictions, right.
Do we need to close the hearing before we make a motion?
15 minutes.
We have a couple more minutes. Any other comments?
You're all set.
Okay. We'll close the public hearing at 6:28.
I make a motion that we accept the money and use it and apply for the proposed projects that Paul listed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Shit.
Just-
Oh, excuse me.
Or anything similar.
Or anything similar.
Yeah,
You
okay.
could just add that in there.
Second.
All right.
Agree.
You accept the amendment.
Yeah.
You accept the vote as unanimous. All right. And we have a permit request from the Boardin Club. Are they present? Would you like to pull up another chair and both of you come up here? How you doing?
You can sit in a chair
Oh,
if you want.
sure. In that chair?
Yep, there's a microphone right there.
This is fine.
Yep.
Chad, this is the treasurer. Thanks for having us. So we just, we want to do a fundraiser event for the skate park on Saturday the 28th from 1 to 5. And we just ask that you waive the $50 application fee because we want to try to get as much money as possible to expand the park. And if we, it would be horrible if we don't even get $50 but end up having to pay it. I hope that doesn't happen. That's not best case scenario, but we'd like to get as much money as we can from this. So, yeah, I think that's about all, Jed.
Yeah.
You have anything to say?
Any questions? Or
Well, what are you guys planning on doing? Who have you been in touch with and all that stuff?
So we're planning on doing it at the skate park, and we've been in contact with Mike Courier, and we filled out the application. So we went around, we talked to the police chief and the health inspector, and all the necessary signatures that we needed, we went and filled out and talked to.
What is the
you
fundraiser?
guys get a copy of this?
It's just it's gonna be like we're gonna have like a snowboard there and a skateboard, and like we're gonna be raffling them off, and we're also just gonna have like a bucket where people can put in $1, $2, whatever. And I mean, it's mostly for fun as well. But if we can raise a little money while also having a good time, then I think that's a win-win, and we're not expecting to, get thousands of dollars from this or anything close to that, but just something to keep it alive, sort of. And just like friendly competitions on skateboards. Just, I mean, it's not a crazy park, so we just do like, goofy stuff. Throw out some candy, stuff like that.
These gentlemen have been working and helping develop and maintain the skateboard park right along, and have made it successful. I mean, I don't think a lot of people thought it would be successful. And it's turned into quite a use where we do have legal skateboarding in town.
Awesome. Thank you guys for that.
Yeah, we'll thank Mike Courier too for that.
No, Mike,
Yeah.
but Mike's put a lot into it, and these gentlemen have been a big part of it takes maintenance, and I can tell you, as a manager, it hasn't tapped into the municipality's budget. I think it's because of fundraisers like that, right from the beginning, right from the building of
Looks
it.
great.
And they've been part of it right along.
Thank you.
So I would recommend that the $50 gets waived as town administrator.
Thank you, sir.
Do you have any other comment?
Did I hear you say that all the proceeds are going towards improvements?
Yeah, on the paper it says, or on the agenda it says to also benefit the club, but if whatever money we get, we just want it to go to the park
Yeah,
because that's what we do.
We don't need, I looked at how much we have in our funds and how much, pretty much all the money is going towards our trip at the end of the year. And in past years, that's taken about $4,000 and we have like 3,700. So this isn't our only place to raise money, like only event that we'll have throughout the year to raise money. But if we can, depending on how much we raise, I think well over half of it's gonna go. If we raise it's gonna be, I'm hoping it's gonna be over $100 that we raise.
Because you have to take out the cost of the
Yeah.
prizes you're raffling and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what you were saying is that that the fund, to keep it alive, to keep the fundraising going, because it was, from what I know, is pretty much made from fundraising. And Mike, I talked to Mike about it a little bit, and I don't know. Yeah, we just really want to raise as money for the park because I know it hasn't been done in a little bit now, and I really wanted to, do what I could for the park.
Okay.
I make a motion that we waive the $50 application fee.
That's second. Too late.
I hope it's a nice day.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Do we have a selectman volunteer to go over there and participate?
Come down.
How well do you skate, John?
No, not I. Okay.
Have to have an
Well,
ambulance
we
there.
waived it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
for
Thank you
coming
guys
and
so much.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you for
Thanks.
what you're
Thank you.
doing. And
Good job,
appreciate
guys.
you working
Yeah.
down there and keeping it up.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks so
Very
much.
Thank you guys.
Okay, let's see. No unfinished business. Public comments? Nothing from the public.
Public has left the building. Oh, no, Frank's still here.
Oh, he's still here.
There's three?
These two young ladies out there.
Civics.
You here for a class?
You'd be here otherwise, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we've
That's a good
missed you so far this year. This
Do you
is
need
the
a
first
paper
meeting
signed?
you've made.
Do you need signatures? You can come up and get signatures.
All right.
No, yep.
We need to,
They're just going to approach the board and get some
Okay.
signatures.
so that we can validate their attendance.
And you can vote. to go to non-public.
Okay. We have a motion to go into non-public.
I make
we
a
have to
motion we go
sign
into
there.
non-public.
Yeah. But we can still vote.
Oh,
We won't start it until they leave.
Go ahead.
His signature's more important than mine. I'll sign yours. Yours won't make it.
Do Do we have a motion to go into non-public?
Anybody else want to sign?
Sure.
I made one.
Do we have a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
That was good.